Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the Ingram in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm going to do a collection update video. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. It's been a few months, but I've gotten a lot of great stuff. I've got it sitting there over in the corner. I kind of just wanted to show you guys some of this stuff. Now, this is a small fraction of what I put into my collection over the last couple of months, but I wanted to grab some of what I thought were the highlights. I got some great stuff. Most of this stuff is items that have come into the store, but some of it has actually come from our new trade-in program on the website. That's been really successful. I've extended that. On a side note, if you're interested, it's great. I only take records, LPs, single discs, not box sets, and they have to be valued at a retail over $100. But if you go onto the website, you click a form, sell my records, put it in there. Essentially what you do is you mail me the records and I give you 75% of what I'm going to sell it for in-store credit. The customers who have done it have loved it. It's great. If you got an expensive record, maybe you're not using it anymore, they're sending it in. And some of those records I've kept for myself. So I will say, I guess, what I'm going to sell it for if I was going to sell it. But, everybody's been thrilled. Out of everything that's been submitted to me, I think everybody who's taken the offer except one guy didn't like the price on one record. I sent it back to him, and then 2 weeks later, he changed his mind and wanted to send it back. So it's been real successful. So some of those records came from that. I'll point them out to you. This first one actually comes from one of my employees. He was in a thrift shop here in Phoenix, and he found this record. That is Duke Pearson's Tender Feelings, and this is just a beautiful first pressing deep groove mono copy. Duke Pearson's Tender Feelings. I think this is his first record. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, he didn't want to sell it to me. He's a jazz fan. He's a record collector. He loves digging. He loves hunting. He doesn't really sell records, but he was willing to trade. I actually traded him Kraftwerk's first record called, they were a different band at the time, Florian Schneider, Ralph, they were in a band called The Organization. The name of the album is Tone Float, and to me, it's terrible. It's worth a ton of money, but it was just terrible. It's, a lot of just electronic flute, and it was a record that I had because I'm a huge Kraftwerk fan. I love Kraftwerk. But that particular record, even the Cone records, which are a little bit more similar to Tone Float, they have their moments, and I like those records, Kraftwerk 1 and 2. And then obviously everything that came after it was great. But The Organization, Tone Float, for me, wasn't doing it. He was kind of going through, shared on one of my Discogs link, what do you think of this? I'm like, oh, I'd get rid of this, I'd get rid of that. And he took it. That's how I got Duke Pearson's Tender Feelings. This next one's been out a couple of months, and I wanted to do a standalone video on it, but I didn't want to overheat a market that is becoming overheated, and that is the new tone poet, Frank Sinatra in the Wee Small Hours. This record is unbelievably good. It's sold out everywhere immediately. It's going for a lot more on the secondary market. It's not something you should ever pay. It's coming back in print. They're going to make it, but it's expensive now. But what an unbelievable job they did on this. They knocked it out of the park. Not only did they cut it from the analog tape, they cut it from something better. They had a backup of an analog tape that was untouched since the day it was recorded. I'm summarizing. Essentially a backup of the analog tape. They had the original master tape. They've been using it forever. And then they had not a safety of it, but two were being made at the same time. And they used that second copy, essentially, of the master tape. It was essentially snippets it was different songs assembled on different reels. There's information on it, but the sound quality of it is unbelievable. Kevin just knocked it out of the park with this one. It sounded so freaking good. Highly recommended. When it comes back, it will. Don't pay secondary prices. That's ridiculous. This next one is a guilty pleasure record from me. I like one particular song on the record. That is the Lords of Acid, I Must Increase My Bus. This record, I think they made 500 of them or less. And if you look, it has the original $31 price tag. I was able to get one of these. I thought nothing of it. I almost kept it for myself. I put it in the bin. I forgot about it. And then when I decided, I meant to buy, this is the first pressing of this record, by the way. It's the only pressing of this record. When I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to go order another one. Keep in mind, they only made a few hundred of these. I went to order it. It was out of print. This copy had sold. I'm like, whatever. A couple years later, I went and looked, and this was like on 3, 4, 5. It was going for hundreds of dollars. I'm like, well, I don't like it that much. So I put it aside. Anyways, years later, the one copy that I sold, that I got, came back into the store, still sealed. And here it sits, still sealed. I am going to open it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But when it came in the store, I'm like, I'm going to take that. Okay, from the Blue Note collection, with all the test pressings in it, I did a standalone video on it. I actually got a couple of records with jackets. A Beatles Hard Day's Night, Cecil Taylor, Love for Sale, Trio, and Quintet. For the most part, no records had jackets, but a few of them did. Keep in mind, Plastilite pressed for United Artists as well. She happened to have a couple of those records with the correct jacket. Beautiful, beautiful, just unplayed, as clean as a whistle. The copy you'd want to own. Came from that test pressing, or not test pressing, but quality inspection collection that I posted about a couple of months ago. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it below. Watch it. It's unbelievable. The story is just mind-boggling. Okay, I bought a collection years ago, actually, at this point now. Time's flying. Years ago, the gentleman worked at Fender Guitars in Scottsdale. They had offices here. He did graphic design for them. He passed away tragically. I bought his record collection from his wife. She was moving out of town. He had a bunch of test pressings. I got a Ramones test pressing. I showed that, I think, already. I got a bunch of Cheech and Chong test pressings. But at the same time, I got this, which I haven't shown yet. That is the self-titled Cars record. The first Cars record, one of the greatest debuts of all time. This was in that collection. And, yeah. The original Cars test pressing. Going to see David Byrne in a couple months. Love it. Went and saw him on Broadway for the American Utopia. I saw him in Tucson for that tour. I saw him in Mesa. This is his newest album, Who Is This Guy? This is the Indie Store exclusive. St. Vincent is on this. They'd had an album together. I love David Byrne, and I love all his solo work. I'm not just, I'm a big Talking Heads fan, and I'm going to go see David Byrne to see his Talking Head stuff. No, I like David Byrne. I love David Byrne. His solo stuff, I think, is fantastic. There's another record in here. My favorite quasi-solo record is in here as well. They're killer. Anyways, this record, I'm a completist. I'm going to have everything David Byrne. I'll listen to this again. It was not my favorite album. It's one of my lesser favorite albums, if not my least favorite album that he's done. The problem with this is I myself, the way I consume music, because I typically am a melody guy, and then the words kind of are secondary for me. This particular album is written in a way to where the melody is there, but it's not as upfront as his lyrics. And his lyrics are bizarre. And every time I listen to this record, I find myself focusing on strange lyrics, and I'm not getting into the melody. So rather than, just kind of like bobbing and like having a good time, like, yeah, rocking out to this David Byrne, this is great, loving it, I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? So that's kind of the vibe I get from this record. Okay. I'll just skip up to a record that was brought into the store. I got a copy. It was a little rough, and it's the only David Byrne solo album I didn't have in my collection. That is David Byrne and Brian Eno. Everything That Will Happen Today is the name of this record. Anyways, this record came into the store, and it was a little rough, and I played it, and I played it like 10 times. I'm like, man, I freaking love this record. Why haven't I bought this? But, this wasn't a perfect copy. So I wanted a perfect copy. So what did I do? I went online, I bought a brand new sealed copy, paid a premium for it, opened it up, and this record was in worse shape than the copy I had sold for less. This came out in 2012? This was the era of much lower quality records, I think, as a whole. People complain about quality now. Let me tell you, when the labels made no money on vinyl records, 2008, they really didn't care about quality. But I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll try to find an open copy since I got a mint cover, and I'll try to put together even a better copy. But this is my favorite David Byrne album, solo art album. I think it is by far and away his best. It's a great record. I'm looking forward to it. He's touring. I've got a show I'm going to go to, in 3 or 4 months from now. got second row, thrilled to go in the pit. That particular record, why, I didn't get it at the time, and it took me forever to get it. Maybe just primarily because it went up in price so much. But he's touring a song off of that album, so I'm looking forward to it. This was a record that got sent into the store as part of the trade-in program. Actually, 2 of these records, back to back. Huge fan of the Cranberries. I just never had an original copy of this record. Not very easy record to find in the United States. It's not something that's easily just going to walk into the store. You got to seek it out. I never sought it out. I didn't have it. The Cranberries, no need to argue. This is an original UK pressing. A lot of records from the 90s sound terrible. They do. I listened to this and was blown away how freaking good this record sounds. This is an amazing sounding record. This is today something that would pass as an audiophile record. Highly recommend an original of this. Not cheap, but sounds great. Another record I got as part of the trade-in program. Big fan of Depeche Mode. Saw them here the last time they were in town. I'd love to see them again. I think this personally was their last great album. This is an original UK copy of Ultra. Has the original £12 99 cent, or 99, what is it, 99p pence, price tag from HMV. Came in as a trade-in. I priced it. I'm like, am I going to sell it? I'm going to sell it. I'm like, nah, I got to keep this. I got pretty much every studio album of theirs original first pressings. I think I was missing Ultra. Quite frequently, the Smashing Pumpkins does stuff on Billy's website. It's Martha's Tea, I think it is. He has his own label, Martha's Music. And periodically on his tea shop, he has a tea store, I think in Chicago. He puts records on there, and he puts autographed records on there, and they're wildly expensive. This is Agori Mori Me. But what's nice about this, I think this is an alternate cover. Not only that, it's signed by the complete band. It was expensive. It was like $300, $350, but I've been buying every one of these autographed Smashing Pumpkins exclusives. They had some like archival vault releases from previous concerts, different releases. I bought those, but they're nice. They're really good signatures too. Look at Billy's signature, really nice big signature. I've got 5 or 6 of these autograph albums now. A record that I haven't had the opportunity to compare against anything else because it's not an easy record to find is Michael Jackson's Dangerous. This is the Mobile Fidelity single 33 RPM. It's not a 45 RPM. It's a double disc because that's what it would have been at the time. Keep in mind, when you got into the CD era, records went from about 45 minutes average to about 60 minutes, which worked on a CD, didn't work well on a record. They would have did it back in the day as a 2-disc set. So this is just a normal Mobile Fidelity release. And comparing it against nothing, I've liked it. I liked all the Mobile Fidelity Michael Jackson stuff they've done so far. They've done a great job on it. Dangerous is the first record as a kid I remember them releasing. It was the black or white music video with Macaulay Culkin in it. I remember being young, watching MTV, seeing it come on, Michael dancing on top of the Statue of Liberty. So this is kind of the record release that I remember from Michael Jackson. This was my introduction to Michael Jackson. Thriller, Off the Wall, Ben. All that came later on. I got older. But when I was young, this was on the radio. This was being played. And I really enjoyed it. I've listened to this quite a few times. Again, not comparing it against anything, but it sounds killer. This next record I bought on John Fogerty's website. Creedence Clearwater is amazing. John Fogerty is amazing. What a songwriter. What a great... Those records. Creedence tunes are so freaking damn good. Are they not? Are they just not awesome? Anyways, somebody sent me a link, texted me a link and said, hey, check this out on John Fogerty's website. You can get his newest album, Legacy, autographed. It's $100. And I'm like, you know what? Comes on this special colored vinyl. I'm like, Legacy, like... I don't give a shit about freaking greatest hits records. Not only is this a greatest hits, but this is a Taylor Swift type re-recording of his original track so he could own the masters. He got his publishing back, but he doesn't own the masters to those. So what did he do here? He re-recorded those. So now like he can license them out to like commercials and sync licensing. Similar to what Taylor Swift did. Although I think she might have got her masters and her publishing. I'm not 100%. I don't really care that much. But this essentially is him going back and re-recording these. I gotta say, he did a killer job. He re-recorded these records to where if you didn't these tunes, if you didn't sit back and listen, most of these tracks sound pretty identical to the originals. Now, there's a couple of, you'll hear him playing a tune like, oh yeah, he's clearly older. You can hear it in his voice there or that kind of thing. But musically, sonically, even vocal styles is pretty much spot on to the original. I've listened to it quite a few times. It's essentially a John Fogerty Creedence Clearwater Greatest Hits album, but what a kick-ass signature on the front. $100, not the cheapest thing in the world, but I thought, you know, for an absolute legend, I'll pay the $100. This last record, I like this record. Wasn't my thing. Didn't care musically about this band. Had the record come in the store many times. Didn't sell the record. Or sold the record. Never really listened to it. Wasn't my thing. Just wasn't. Universal reached out to me and they're like, hey, I want you to listen to this record. We did a killer job on it and we really are proud of it. What do you think? And they sent it to me. And I'm like, you know, I don't know crap about Wolfmother, but I'll listen to it. So this is part of their new direct-to-consumer series that they're doing. It's like an Interscope direct type of thing. It's Interscope Records. You go on their website and you can see it there. Yeah, they sent me a little note here. We hope you enjoy this record. This is the best-sounding version of Wolfmother you will ever hear. Make sure you crank this one up. Anyways, they were really happy and proud of this thing. And I'll tell you what, I'm like, all right, send me a free record. I'll listen to it. Anyways, I put it on. This record's freaking awesome. I don't know where this record's been hiding my whole life. I played this like 20 times, and let me tell you what. Nameless person who I don't know, because you didn't sign it, you're right. This record freaking sounds awesome. And also, they did a killer job on it as far as the cover goes. This is numbered. I got copy 2197. But look at this beautiful foil cover. Maybe when manufacturers send me records, I should review them a little bit sooner because this was months ago. Because I maybe would get more free records and discover more new things. Comes with a poster. I think that poster's upside down, but you get the idea. Anyways, a lot of the records that they're releasing on this Interscope Direct has been a lot of hip-hop stuff that I haven't cared about as much, so I haven't really picked it up. But if anything that they release in the future even remotely catches my eye and it's to the quality of this, I'll be all over it. This is how it came, RTI pressed. I think Levi did this at Black Belt. Let me see. Yeah, Levi did this at Black Belt Mastering. He's done some of the one-steps. Anyways, knocked that out of the park, and now I'm a fan of at least that album. I'll probably listen to some of their other stuff in the catalog, but I thought it was doom metal, to be honest. So I kind of like just wrote it off as like, oh, this isn't my type of thing. This is doom metal. No, this is like straight guitar, like Led Zeppelin guitar rock, you know, screaming and rocking and drumming. And the cover is very like doom metal-y, sludge metal-y, but that's not what this is. It's awesome. I recommend that record. If you're a rock fan, but you've never heard that, stream it. Good record. There's one song on it that you've heard before, more than likely. It kind of was a minor hit, or maybe even just a hit. But even somebody like myself who wasn't listening to this type of music in the era when it was new, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with this song. And then I listen to the rest of the record. Like, this is awesome. Anyways, a little longer video than normal because I haven't done one of these in a while. But yeah, I think this is a lot of great stuff I've added to my collection. Now I will have to go through and hunt some stuff out of the collection to make space for these new records. But that'll just lead to a nice future whatnot. I've got a great first pressing auction coming up the week before the Super Bowl. It's going to be killer. A lot of the stuff from my collection that I had to take out to replace this stuff, but now I need to make even more room. All right, guys, you can check us online at theingroove.com. Until next time.